Hello everyone, it's Sean, and yeah, it's been quite a while, isn't it? So today I will be reviewing the new Tobot Z, where we just left off. I am actually so sorry that I've been on a hiatus, I guess, because I've been really busy. Well, not in school, because school's actually about to start pretty soon, but uh, I've been on vacation. So, yeah. But anyways, since school's coming back, I decided, you know what? Might as well start with the uh, the Tobot reviews again. Now, update. There is no Triton yet here, unfortunately. Like, I've been looking at basically every store now, and literally the best I could find is the, like, Tobot Boom or Tobot L, but like no sign of Triton whatsoever. He's looks like Triton is not gonna be here for a while, but once he's here, I'll definitely review him. And not only that, I think I already said this in the Tobot Y video, but I am no longer going to review the rescue Tobots, because to me, honestly, they just seem like Tobot V Tobots, they're very gimmicky. Some do auto transformation and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that's enough about me rambling. Let's get into today's review. So yeah, this is Z now. So very interesting car, a Staria, huh? Very interesting. These are very common to see in the Philippines nowadays, considering these are, I think, one of the most pristine vans, if I'm not mistaken. I do like the design of the headlights here, and I look Tobot Z in the back. Oops, it's not focusing. Focus. There, Tobot Z, and oops, I think something is. There we go. Okay, and then yeah, it's just a very nice little. Why will it not? There we go. So it's just. There's a Tobot Z license plate. Yeah. There are some hinges and stuff, like up here, but it doesn't really matter because it's still a very nice looking. It's big too. Like he's the chunkiest out of all of the main three. Anyways, yeah, he's a very nice, solid van. Very common here in the Philippines. So technically, if I see a Staria, I'm just gonna be reminded of this guy now. But okay, excuse me. So basically, yes, this guy is very nice. Yeah, very nice car mode indeed. I really like all the paint and stuff. Now, if you're wondering where the choroid or the mind core is, it's actually in here. You have to open this up, and it's stored basically in here. Now, this doesn't mean that X and Y can't store their mind cores. They can actually store them, but I tend to just leave Z's in here for the time being, and only that because his is kind of problematic. If you see what I mean, see this paint here? When I first got this thing, I only touched it for a little bit, but like this thing has so many scratches now, and it's kind of yeah, it's awful. Although I really like the head design. That head design is amazing. Like they brought back the Z on the sides here, Z on the sides. You can bring out the arms. And if you're wondering why that's like a blue Energon looking bit, but because apparently in this, like the first season, from what I've seen in the show, Z has like a pilot crisis, with Dylan and then this other kid. I actually don't know what his name is. But basically, to cut it short, Z basically had a health condition. Dylan and the other kid had to fix Z himself, and then yeah, basically Z has two pilots now. So that's interesting. Never seen that in Tobots before. But yeah, yeah, that's Z. If you want to, let me get this face here, and this face is very cute. I like how it looks like he's very sleepy. Just a very neutral expression. So let's rotate this back, and technically, for articulation, of course, the head can rotate 360. The arms, well, the arms can rotate. The problem is, because of his big head, he can't really rotate 360, but it can. He can rotate at the back. And for extra articulation, because of how he works in vehicle and robot mode, he can basically has knee articulation, which is interesting, but it doesn't really work because, well, he can't really kneel. So that's enough of Z. Let's put him back in his little cubby hole here. Now, the way this works is that these two plugs are basically Legos, and then there's two little pegs in there where basically he pilots his own body. I'll leave that down. Actually, we can start with the transformation already. We'll just leave that out. Now we'll bring the sides of the fan out like this, and we'll just leave it on the side. If you've seen Tobot, if you played with the original Tobot Z and Adventure Tobot Z, this is basically the exact same thing with a few minor differences. And then this one just clinks out to the side with a ratchet. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll untab this entire thing. Adventure Z, basically. So bring this, and yeah, this goes all the way down. Tobot Adventure Z. This basically forms the back of the shin, so this will fold out. And what's very nice is that he has small little heel spurs, and these heels actually work surprisingly well. Now you bring these out here, and you bring these out. These are his main feet, and we'll split the legs. And yeah, as you can see, this guy is beefy, and just like the original Tobot Z, we're gonna basically collapse the tires in the abdomen there. Let me raise my camera a little bit now. And then, just like Adventure Z, we will split this apart. But there's no area where this thing goes. It's just sort of frictions in, which is unfortunate. And bring this down, and you, same thing, you bring this out. Now, when I first got this figure, I had a lot of trouble, like, getting the elbows and, like basically the roof of the car in place. So basically, what you're supposed to do is that, okay, so basically, let me get into transformation first. So you're going to, this has a double hinge here, which you're going to bring up. And then this will collapse down to form that Adventure Z shoulder pad. And you rotate this up, and then there's a little tab that goes into a hole right there. You bend the elbows, and then you bring the head up, basically. So, yeah, same thing here. So, basically, when you bring this up, you just bring it back down, and you clip it in. Yeah, that's it. I know, I'm very, probably anyone who reads in the instructions gets that, but I'm an idiot. I never read instructions, so there we go. Bring this out and pop this in, and yeah. This is the new Tobot Z, and this guy is the definition of bulkiness. Like he has humongous arms. He has very, well, not scrawny legs, but like very scrawny, like very, 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 very short thighs. Like one of the shortest thighs I've ever seen in a robot. Not very tiny. He looks like he has running shoes on. His shins are very beefy. Yeah, and he has gigantic hands too. Like unlike the other Tobots, his fists are open, which is insane. Now, I don't know if they are actually articulate. I've never tried, but there is a hinge here that I think that this just I think it just moves the hand itself. But aside from that, yeah, he is a very solid figure too. Like, I really like the way this guy looks. Now, as I said with this thing, with these things do not want to stay still, especially this side. This side is very loose indeed. Although it does catch there, so, you know, technically you can do this. Shoo! Or, whatever that meme is. I've never heard of that meme before. It's a football meme, and I've never watched football. Sorry, football fans. I don't really watch football, and I'm not very, okay. But anyways, enough of me rambling about sports. What am I doing? Let's get into the articulation, and then we'll compare them to other robots. So, the head can rotate, not 360, of course, because of how massive it is. His arms can rotate around 360 on this barely hearable ratchet, but it does have a ratchet. It can go in and out. It can rotate at the elbow. Not exactly 90 degrees, but it works. Rotate above the elbow on... Basically, this entire guy is just made up of soft ratchets. Aside from this, the in and out joints here. Same thing on this arm. And his waist is also articulated, even though it's not even used for transformation, which is interesting. Now, his legs, for how tiny his shins are, they are surprisingly posable. They can go forward, back, or how tiny his thighs are, sorry. They go in and out, rotate at the knee, almost 90 degrees actually. Rotate above the knee, and rotate at the foot, and well, technically this part of the foot, and rotate like at the foot by itself. And let's get him into some, like, I don't know, some sort of pose here. Maybe he's firing out his spider webs, because I do know that Z is more or less robot Spider-Man. I don't know, something like that. Maybe he's firing webs. And yeah, Z himself is very nice. I do recommend that you pick him up. Like, if X and Y are already good for you, you're good with this guy. This guy is very nice. Like, unlike X, where the robot mode did not really work that well for me because of like what X is known for, Z, on the other hand, is just perfect all around. Like, he has a perfect body shape and a perfect robot mode and a perfect car mode. Like, the robot mode fits with Z's car mode, which is a van, which obviously vans are bigger than cars, so Z's gonna be a bit bigger. Now, that doesn't mean that he's actually the shortest out of the main three, surprisingly, which I don't really mind, because, you know, he's already super big and muscular. Like, I would not walk up to this guy if I was like an enemy or something. But anyway, speaking of, let's get into the comparison. So, I guess we can start off with Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime here. And obviously, Z dwarfs most Voyager class figures. I think this is Voyager class. And then, let's see, let's get Superion here. Now, obviously, Superion is just Superion's just cheating here. He's a combiner. Z's just one robot. Although, for how tall Superion is, Z is already right up to his, like, basically right about his abdomen, but like a little bit above his abdomen, which is very impressive for just one guy. Now, I would imagine Triton would be, well, obviously because they kind of shrink, I think he would be almost, if not as tall as Superion. But yes, very impressive what they did to this guy here. Now, let me get another one here. Maybe, I think this is a deluxe class Combiner Wars Trailbreaker. There we go. And obviously, Izzy just dwarfs him like Trailbreaker's head is not even, it's just up to Z's crotch. That's insane. Like, how big, like, this is why when I was a kid, I really loved Tobots, because, like, Transformers are still good to me. Like, and now that I'm older, I appreciate Transformers much more, especially Superion, who I actually just got very recently. But yes, like, if you're a kid and you're technically, you're no, I'm gonna say a line from MGO316. Basically, I guess you're no longer a kid if you don't play with toys. Like, you're still a kid if you like toys. You know, blah blah blah. I forgot what he says, but yeah. If you like Tobots, then get Tobots, because these things were my childhood. And not only that, Transformers back then for me were really hard to transform, because, like, you know, I don't read instructions that much, so Tobots, on the other hand, you don't need instructions. Like all the Tobots I've gotten, I've only needed help from instructions like at least 3 times. Like most other Tobots are so easy to transform that I can get them right on the get-go, which is very nice. Like, but like complicated robots like Superion or, well, this Optimus is not very complicated, but he's, for me, he's a bit jittery. Is that the word? I guess. But for me, like Combiner Wars figures, they're simple, but like, I don't know. For me, they're too simple, complicated. If that's, I don't know if that's what I mean. But yeah, basically, a very nice Tobot figure. I definitely recommend picking them up if you really want to get like in the new Tobots. Like if you miss the old Tobots, bam, get Z, get X, Y, Z, and Triton. Don't need to get anyone else. And not only that, I heard that W is back. So once W comes out, yeah, you know what I'm doing. I'm making a video of W right away. Now, anyways, yeah, so yeah, that's it. I'm sorry again for taking a very long vacation, but I'll be back and I'll review Tobots again. And yeah, so this is it. I'll see you hopefully when I get Triton or some other new Tobots. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.